And we are back once again on Yankees Hot Stove. Pleased to be joined in studio for the first time ever by Yankees first baseman Mark Teixeira. Mark, great to have you here. Thank you for leaving Teixeira Manor, by the way, to join us. And we always like to check with guests. Is the stove too hot, or does it feel just right?
It's just perfect right now. It's a little cold outside, but perfect in here.
I love it. So sorry we had to pry you away from your wrist rehab, because you're probably loving it. But why don't you update us on where you're at with that right now?
It's gotten a little tedious, but the surgery was July 1st. It's been a long time since surgery. I've gotten past the cast stage. I was in a cast for 6 weeks. I'm sure fans probably saw me in the dugout with that cast on. But, I'm really doing a lot of strengthening. I'm getting the bat, doing some range of motion type stuff, some really slow swinging, just to make sure the range of motion is there, getting that strength and flexibility back.
What's your schedule moving forward? When would you like to see live pitching? Kind of take us through the process as we go here.
Yeah, so my schedule really is December is more that strengthening, flexibility. I want to be swinging full speed in January. So January 1st, be swinging full speed. I'll be going up to Bobby Valentine's facility in Stanford to hit off the cage, or hitting the cage, hit off the tee, all of those type of things. By the 1st of February, I want to be, doing the 90-mile-an-hour pitching machine and taking my full swings off the pitching machine. So when I go to Tampa in mid-February, I can kind of get into those everyday spring training grind with the full batting practice. I don't want to play right away in spring training. We start our games way early. I think the 25th is our first exhibition game. So I want to kind of slowly build into, live batting practice, simulated games, and then start playing games the first week of March.
Mark, you're talking about a lot of the things you can do and are doing, but what has the wrist changed for ththings that you're not going to do anymore? Is the end of the weighted bat? Will we not see the weighted bat in Mark Teixeira's hands anymore?
No more weighted bat. It was a tool that I've used since I was a kid. You take swings with the weighted bat, and hit some balls off the tee and get loose, and you feel great. It builds strength and it builds bat speed, and you feel really good. But I tore my wrist apart doing it. Whether it was the weighted bat or it was going to happen anyway, I just don't want to take the chance of putting that extra force through the wrist.
Now, will you change your daily routine when you resume games? Let's say it's the middle of June or July. You're used to taking, let's say, 100 hacks pregame. Will you change that at all?
I will. I want to kind of pare down my swings per game, per day. And so if you look at 100, that's actually a really good estimate of what I was swinging pregame every single day. I might take it to 70 or 80. Being a switch hitter, I have to swing a lot. And I have to swing twice as many as most guys. But I think all of those swings during my career, and especially the last few years, it just really took its toll. And, the wrist ended up being an overuse injury.
Mark, what needs to happen for you to feel 100%? The doctors could tell you it's okay physically, but mentally, for you to know that that wrist is okay, you swing and nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, let's go through that process of just what I laid out. And then, that first game against Justin Verlander in Lakeland, he throws me a 95-mile-an-hour fastball on the inside part of the plate. I want to drop the head on that ball, and even if I don't get a hit or hit a home run off it, I want to know that I can make a really strong, quick move on an inside fastball at 95 and have no pain or no tightness. Once I do that, then I'll know that I'm going to be fine for the season.
Every team has scouting reports. If a pitcher had an ankle injury, teams might try and bunt on him. Are you ready for teams who are going to come inside on you? They're going to test that wrist a little bit. Let's see if Mark Teixeira is ready. Let's see if he is 100%.
Please come on in there. I love it when guys try to come in, and I can use that short porch at Yankee Stadium. So I think it is one of those things where I'll just need to prove to myself that I'm healthy. And once I'm healthy, it should be business as usual.
We're going to take a look at a graphic of some of your key injuries. But last year was unlike any other. You were only able to play 15 games. Even when you've had injuries, you've been able to play through them. But let's leave out the fact that you're rehabbing a wrist injury. Kind of rehabbing in the offseason is a norm for you and other ball players, right?
It's a norm for all of us. We play 162 games, plus the postseason, plus spring training. Almost every player goes into the off-season having to deal with something. It might be a little sore back. It might be a sore hand, an ankle injury, something that we played through during the season, but you have to spend a little extra time in the off-season. So I'm going to go through my strength. I'm going to go through my conditioning, my running, hitting, all that kind of stuff, with the focus on the wrist to make sure the wrist is 100%.
Now, you're obviously doing the rehab here in the offseason. You know you'll be back next year, but the Yankees front office very busy trying to find some players to help this team next season. And although it's not official yet, they have signed Brian McCann, a guy you know a little bit. So do you like that move?
I love Mac. I mean, what a great player, what a great teammate. He's going to be really good for our clubhouse. He's going to have no problem playing in New York because he's a nice guy. He's a fun guy. He's going to enjoy talking with you guys after the game when he hits 2 home runs and we win. And so, Brian McCann is a perfect fit for our stadium, a perfect fit for our ball club.
Mark, not taking away from anybody who caught for you guys last year, but how important is it for a team to just have that stable figure behind the plate? George Girardi can come in when the McCann signing becomes official and say, 120 games, there's my catcher. There's a middle-of-the-order power guy.
That's huge. I mean, we won a lot of games with Jorge Posada as our catcher over the last 15 years. And when you have a guy that's just a staple, middle-of-the-lineup type guy that you can, really trust to drive in runs for you, it just makes Joe's job that much easier.